When Sri Lanka won the toss and put India into bat, if you thought that India would score 200, 205, just know that you weren't alone. Here we were of that opinion as well. 205 is what I had predicted. But as things stand at the end of 20 overs, India have just managed 173 on the board for the loss of 8 wickets in their 20 overs. Rohit Sharma was brilliant with the start. He kept going with that approach despite wickets going down at the other end. Suryakumar Yadav, of course, came in with that start. But the way Sri Lanka bowled, be it Madhushankar, Karunaratne, Shanaka, they never really let India lose. And towards the end, India failed to finish with a flourish yet again. Welcome to Cricbuzz Live. My name is Tanay Tiwari. With me, Mr. Harsha Bhogle, Mr. Parthiv Patel. Welcome, gentlemen. And India would be ruining yet another finish where they couldn't flourish, really.
But not everybody said 200.
I know. Yeah, I was looking at you from my peripheral vision, sir.
Not everybody said 200.
What did you say? But yeah, 185.
185.
185. What the sir?
No, but if the last 8 overs, they had 8 wickets in hand. And they were 109 for 2 after 12 overs.
Yeah.
Last 8 overs, they've only got 64 runs. It tells me 2 things. Either they batted badly, and they didn't get the finishing kick. Obviously, they've not got the finishing kick. 180 looked on course. Or is it getting more difficult to hit the big shots?
Yeah.
Is the ball holding a little? If the ball is holding a little, then the 64 from 8 overs might actually point to something better as you go along. My feeling is 173 is a good score. But PPPD is...
No, I think it's a good score, but honestly, I thought Sri Lanka bowled very intelligently. If you look, they forced Hardik to hit over a very, very big boundary, which is 80 meter. He got caught there, and then Rishabh Pant also got out to another big boundary there. So they forced Indian batsmen to hit big boundary. What it means, it's 80 meters. Yes, a lot of time we see that 80 meters, a lot of players clear that 80 meter. But then if it's slightest of miss it, then you get out. So that's where Sri Lanka were intelligent. So that's where 183 with off spinner in our ranks, where people try and righty will try and take them on. So there are more chances of getting wicket. Yes, looking the way we started, the kind of tempo we had, 2 wickets in hand, we should have got to a 190 at least. I mean, they would be thinking that we are short, even with the slower wicket and all. And it's all about wickets. If you look at the run rate in between, the 9 in the middle and 9.6 between 11 to 15. But there were only 2 wickets fell in those 10 overs. And suddenly the 4 wickets fell and India could get 46 in last 4 overs. So it is all about taking wicket. It's always about thinking mental.
46 in the last 5 actually.
Yeah.
16 to 20, last 5. I mean, we keep talking about 50 in the last 5 being a given.
Yeah.
If you've got 50 in the last 5, you're getting 177. You're close to 180.
Yeah.
But I agree 100% with Parthiv. It looked like 190 was on. They have a lot of left-handers. India's first left-hander came in at 6. One of the advantages of having a left-hander in is you can counter the field that is set for the big boundary. Because then if you take a single, it's the left-hander playing. So either occasion, one of them is hitting to the shorter boundary. So that will be a factor with the left-handers in. But as Parthiv said, it's about wickets. If you can take 2 in the power play and keep them down, if you can keep them down to 35, 36 for 2, then I think you've taken major strides towards winning it.
India's power play score was 44 for 2 when they started, and yet, how good was Rohit Sharma today? Parthiv, because we've heard from him at that press conference, he said, we want to bat a certain way. This is a resolution we've taken post that T20 World Cup. And today, despite those wickets going down, despite whatever the wicket was doing, Rohit Sharma, every time he had an opportunity to hit a shot, he was hitting it. That strike rate of 175 for a prolonged period of 41 balls tells his commitment to that approach.
Yeah, see, the only difference is he wanted everyone to play with its strike rate. But today, that's what he had said in the press conference. But here, I thought they played situation really well. When there was partnership going on between Suryakumar Yadav and Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma was the one who was hitting boundaries, and Surya was slightly subdued. But that's how you play when someone's scoring runs, and if everyone cannot go. And if you look at more important is the partnership. Here, if you look at the partnership again, it is 58 of 97. So that is the run rate of 10. And so we are talking about 200 runs after 20 overs. So it was going really well. Rohit Sharma was going all guns blazing, 60 of 36. And Suryakumar Yadav played this situation. Both of them played situation really well. Again, I'm emphasizing on wickets went in clusters. That is the reason why India could not get that flurry which India was looking for.
But the way Rohit batted there, I mean, despite losing wickets, and we've talked about the approach a lot. We spoke about in the pre-show the sustainability of it. Those wickets going down at the other end still did not stop him. I mean, for as long as he was batting.
And he batted differently from everybody else. The other 80 balls through his 100 runs.
Yeah.
So it shows that he was in form. He was playing differently. He didn't hit too many balls out of shape. One of the great things about Rohit is he doesn't need to get out of shape to hit the big sixes. There were one or two when he charged and hit over square leg. He doesn't do that too often. But he didn't get out of shape today. He was just batting beautifully. One who played an unusual shot was actually Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
Because mid-wicket was open. Normally, mid-wicket's open, you bowl on the pads. It's like Virat Kohli saying, thank you, that's the last ball I want before I retire. So maybe he just played all over it. Maybe he tried to hit a big shot. Maybe in his mind, he was predetermined, I'm going to hit that. But that was about 10 runs there.
It looked like he was trying to hit it too hard there. You know, that's when Harsha was talking about the losing the shape, and that's what happened. So when you're trying to hit from the stump, everything has to be correct. And here, I thought he was trying to hit that too hard.
PP, how about KL Rahul? You have a similar assessment of his batting as well, the way he batted today?
I thought he started really well. He played a spinner really well, but you got to give credit to Thikshan. I think that ball really swung in, and it caught. I don't think KL Rahul was expecting it to swing in that much. So that's where he got in a bit of a tangle. But he started well. I thought the approach was right. Only it's a prolongation of the wicket or runs which we're talking about. Then what we were talking about with Rohit Sharma, that he's getting those starts. And if KL is batting well, if he's thinking right, he has quality to get that big scores also.
Yeah, it's going to be really important for KL Rahul to come back in that kind of form as well. But today, Sri Lanka's bowlers, they were right on the money. In the power play, they picked those 2 wickets. Even every time you saw the Indian batters taking the game away from them, they had some sort of a way to come straight back, especially the way Dasun Shanaka bowled. I mean, of course, his analysis towards the end shows 2 overs, 26 runs. But the way everyone bowled, they really bowled well as a unit today.
And the left-handers got 3 for 24.
Yeah, yes.
So the stories are going to start again about left-handers taking the new ball, bowling to India. He swung 1 or 2 in, which was a key thing that we were talking about. But still, he bowled his 4 overs well. It was Asita who was bowling a little quicker, who managed for runs, and they went after Hasaranga today.
They did.
I think it's the second time in 2 games or 2 or 3 games that someone's gone after Hasaranga.
Yeah.
But I still think 173 is a decent score, because now India know how to bowl on this track.
Yeah.
They've seen what worked for Madhushanka. They've seen what worked for Karunaratne. Again, a bustling kind of bowler who takes pace off more than he puts on. He's got 6.75. I don't think Madhushanka also took pace off a little bit. He's also gone at 6 and over. So India will realize that might be the way to go. And I want Arshdeep Singh to have a good match.
Yeah, absolutely. All of us do.
Maybe a fabulous tumbling catch at deep mid-wicket.
Would love it. Nothing more. Would love nothing more. Absolutely. But the way the captain Shanaka there changed his bowlers as well. He moved things around, and towards the end, especially last 2 overs, they had to bring in 5 fielders because of that over 8 rule. And despite that, you don't end up leaking runs. The bowling plans, bowling short of a length, bowling bouncers to the new batters, they were very much on point with their strategies.
Yeah, they were. I think if you look at most of the dismissals, they've come in a bowled or they've caught at mid-wicket. Usually when you are bowling in stumps, you try and hit it over mid-wicket. So their plans were very simple. They were trying to be, stump to stump. They were not trying to do anything fancy out there. And then even if you look at Shanaka's bowling analysis, if you come in as a 6th bowler and if you're taking two wickets, that's game changing. That's when he got out a couple of set batsmen.
Yeah, 2 wickets.
2 set batsmen, and there's 10-15 runs extra. Then if Ashwin showed how well he's improved his batting. But I mean, if Hardik and Rishabh Pant were batting in last 2 overs, it would have been a completely different story.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about an extra fielder inside the circle. 19th over, 1 fielder inside the circle, and Madhushanka concedes 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, in effect, Sri Lanka conceded 16 of the last 2 with an additional fielder inside the circle. Now, imagine you're chasing and you get into a situation where you need 16 for 2 with a fielder inside. You back yourself to win 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10 maybe.
Yeah, correct.
So, that 19th over for 4, I mean, if it gets to a close match, the Ashwin 6, that 19th over. But look at Ashwin. Everyone talks about the GBs of data that he carries. But at this age, he's still trying to improve. He's still trying to get better, still trying to hit 6s, aware of the fact that the place at which he bats, he has to learn to hit the 6s. And it's very creditable.
Yeah, even on his social media, he flexes his batting every now and then.
It's very crucial when you're batting at number 7 or 8. You're going to get that's something which we spoke about in last show. You're anyway going to get 5 or 6 balls, and if you can hit 2 balls, that is 12 runs, and that's a striker of 200. Yeah. That's game changing. That's from the score today. If Ashwin had not hit that 6, it would have been 160, 165, and Sri Lankan batters would have come out with a completely different mindset. Here they are chasing almost 175. So after 160 and 165, every 5 runs or 10 runs makes a huge difference psychologically when teams coming out to chase.
That is so true. And we've seen R. Ashwin talk about his batting very passionately. Every time he talks about it, he's, of course, putting in the hard yards, as Harsha said, and those are yielding results. That 6 was brilliant from Ravichandran Ashwin. We'd like to see some more off-spinners from him as well. Sri Lanka's openers are out, which means it's time for a prediction game as well. We'll forget what happened in the last prediction game. We'll start afresh. Fresh start. Headmaster Harsha Bhogle, please go ahead. First.
Uttar. 41.
41 banenge.
41.
I'm going 46.
46, 41. I say they make 38 and Arshdeep Singh bowls a brilliant over in the power play and picks up 1 wicket.
I hope people don't, if he really does that, I hope people don't think drop karne se aise hota hai. Pause anything. I mean, we're all in sympathy, but that catch should be taken 1,000 times out of 1,000.
Yeah,
So
correct.
The hate was not warranted.
But I think it was a mistake that no one should make, but yet everyone makes at some point. It was just one of those mistakes.
Basically, no one makes a mistake intentionally.
Yeah, absolutely. Correct.
It's like,
it just happens.
It can happen to any player. But I know once you drop a catch, what he must have felt in last couple of days. I've been there, done that kind of situation. No one does that intentionally, and these are the things can happen in cricket.
What's the costliest catch you've ever dropped?
Not the catch, but probably stumping of Ricky Ponting in 2004 Test match, which that's something which stays.
All these young anchors, they always like to ask about what did you do wrong.
Yeah.
I'm very hungry for stories. That is why.
I'm just getting back.
It's just that something which stays with you throughout your life.
And which is the best one? One that you remember. There are
a lot of them. The bad moments are only 1 or 2.
There you go. That's it. Right one. Right back.
You will also remember only your fumbles. You will not remember your right ones.
That is true. That is true. But my right ones are also not that much, so I'll perhaps remember them right now. 174 for Sri Lanka to chase, 173 for India to defend. We'll, of course, come back at the end of 10 overs with Cricbuzz Combox and then at the end of the game with Cricbuzz Live again. Thank you to Mr. Harsha Bhogle. Thank you to Mr. Parthiv Patel. Thank you to all of you for joining in as well. My name is Tanay Tiwari. We'll see you all super soon.